So hello and welcome back to Books and Things. I hope you've all had a good Christmas if you celebrate such things, and I thought today I would tell you about some of the books I got for Christmas because there are some very exciting ones amongst them. I don't do book hauls very often. I think I've only done maybe 2 or 3 before, and I tend to basically only do them like at Christmas or when it's been my birthday, but nonetheless I thought I would tell you about some very exciting books that I received for Christmas today. So the first book I want to show you is this, which is The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry, which is an incredibly beautiful book that I'm very excited about. Nick gave me this for Christmas and I've heard nothing but good things about this from all angles, and I just realised that my copy is signed. I literally just realised this 2 seconds ago. I did not realise it when I opened it on Christmas Day, but signed. Exciting. Basically the only thing I know about this is that it's set in 1893 in Victorian Britain. That's probably enough of a guarantee that I'm going to enjoy this very much. The next one I want to show you is this, which is The Wonder by Emma Donoghue, which my parents gave me for Christmas, and I am very excited about this. Do I know that much about it? I'm not sure I do. The only thing I've read by Emma Donoghue before is Room, which I really loved, and I've read 1 or 2 of her short stories in anthologies, and I think she's a very talented writer, so really interested to read something else by her which might be a bit different. From the blurb, this book I think is about a young girl who has been eating nothing for months but is somehow surviving, and the book follows a nurse that comes to see her in the village where she is in Ireland to kind of investigate the truth. This is why I don't do book hauls, because I have nothing to say because I don't know anything about this book, but hey, it sounds good and I like Emma Donoghue anyway. The next novel I want to mention is this, which is Too Many Magpies by Elizabeth Baines, and this is published by Salt, who always publish very good things. I've read a short story collection of Elizabeth Baines before, published by Salt, which I really enjoyed. I think she does really interesting things with voice and tense, so I'm really looking forward to reading a novel by her. Next, I have 2 Emily St. John Mandel novels to talk to you about. This is The Singer's Gun, which my parents gave me for Christmas, and this is Last Night in Montreal, which my brother and my parents both gave me for Christmas. They gave me a copy each. So I have given my second copy back to my brother because he also enjoyed Station 11, so I'm hoping he will enjoy this as well. I haven't read The Singer's Gun yet, but I'm really looking forward to it because everything I have read by Emily St. John Mandel so far has been absolutely brilliant. I've already read Last Night in Montreal. I read it on Christmas Day in nearly 1 sitting. It's so good. She's just so talented. I will talk more about this in my December wrap-up and also in my favourite books of 2016 video because it's so good. But every time I read something by this author, she's just so good, so incredible. I don't understand how it's possible to write books that are so beautiful, so thought-provoking, so well written, so like with such brilliant characters, but also so utterly gripping and really like page-turner books. This is very good. It's about a woman called Lilia who, when she was 7 years old, her father abducted her from her mother's house, and her father and her lived a life on the run for years, and Lilia has got used to just moving to different cities every few months. She never stays somewhere for long, and it's about kind of her life and one of her boyfriends who she leaves and who doesn't want to let her go, and it's just absolutely brilliant and so good, and she's just, yeah, what an author. And the other novel I received for Christmas is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Dewar. I'm really excited about this, and I've heard many good things about this. I received this for Christmas by an accident. My mum tells me that she'd bought me several books for Christmas, and then she bought this one for herself, and then when my dad was doing the Christmas wrapping for her, he accidentally wrapped this and gave it to me. However, my mum said that she thought I would like it as well, so I have it to read first, and once I have read it, I will return it to my mum so that she can read it as she originally bought it for herself and not for me. I know this book is set in and around World War II, and that's about all, but I hear good things, so hey. Again, this is why I don't do book hauls. From novels onto short story collections, this Christmas was definitely a Christmas of short stories, and I received not 1, not 2, but 7 short story collections from various family members, so I'm very excited to get into all of these short story collections, and I think finally I have enough unread short story collections to do the tri-story tag. The first 3 I'm going to talk about are classic short story collections which were given to me by my uncle. So the first is Fictions by Borges. Borges is a South American writer who was writing in kind of the middle of the 20th century, I believe. I've read a couple of Borges short stories here and there. When I was on my masters we studied a few of them, and I'm kind of have mixed feelings about them. Some of them I really enjoyed, especially the short ones, and some of the long ones I was just really confused. So I'm looking forward to reading some more of Borges and seeing what I think of them. Then my uncle also gave me First Love and Other Stories by Ivan Turgenev. I've actually read the title story First Love. I read it on Kindle a while ago. In fact, I think I've read it twice, and I really enjoyed it, so it'll be nice to read something else by Turgenev because I've never picked up anything else by him. Turgenev is a Russian author from the 19th century, and like I said, what I have read by him so far I've really enjoyed, so this should be really good fun. The next short story collection my uncle gave me is a collection of Japanese short stories. This is Rashomon and 17 Other Stories by Runosuke Akutawajawa. I've probably said that wrong, I apologise, I tried. So I'm really looking forward to this one. These are Japanese short stories written in the 1910s and 1920s. I really love Japanese literature, as you probably know if you've been watching my channel for a while, so I think this should be a really good, interesting read. Moving on to some contemporary short story collections, this is How You Lose Her by Junot Diaz. Now, I first heard about this collection of short stories on Weena Wonder's channel. I will link that down below, but I think I've also heard Jacob Tanner talking about it, and I believe that they are interconnected short stories, which are my favourite kind of short stories, so I'm hoping that I haven't got that wrong. I'm really looking forward to this, especially if they are interconnected short stories, because that is one of my favourite genres, so it should be really interesting. I also have How to Breathe Underwater by Julie Oringer. I love short story collections so much, but I especially love realist short story collections, and I feel like a lot of the best short story collections and a lot of the most popular short story collections at the moment are magic realist short stories. And I do enjoy magic realist short stories, but I really love realist short stories. And whenever I ask people for recommendations of realist short stories, people always say that this is one of the best realist short story collections out there, so I'm really excited for this one as well. I don't know much about the author and I haven't read anything else by her before, but hopefully this will be a good one. I hear so many good things from all of Booktube. The next short story collection I received, and this one was from my brother, is The Need for Better Regulation of Outer Space by Pippa Goldsmith. This is one of those short story collections that I heard a lot about on Booktube about a year ago, maybe longer, and I feel like I could have told you a lot more about it then. I have now forgotten most of what I knew, but I do hear very good things. I believe they are science fiction, or at least kind of scientific short stories in some way, and again I hear very good things and I'm excited for this. And then another short story collection that I received from my parents for Christmas is this, which is Sandlands by Rosie Thornton. I know nothing about this whatsoever, and nor does my mum. In fact, she says that she has no recollection of buying it for me, so we were trying to work out whether this may or may not have been another wrapping mistake. But anyway, it's a short story collection and I like short story collections, so I am not complaining. All I really know about this is that it's set in the Sussex countryside. It seems like the stories, even though they're not actually connected per se, are all kind of linked by a particular setting, which is the kind of thing I really enjoy. So I'm really looking forward to reading this and discovering a little bit more about what it may actually be about. And I also have a few kind of miscellaneous or non-fiction reads. My friend Jess has given me this year the Writers and Artists Yearbook, which I am really, really excited about. I've never actually owned this before, though I perused it in libraries many times. It's basically just a huge, massive resource for people who are in writing, and there is just so many things in here. There's lists of all the awards, there's lists of lots of literary agents, there's lists of writing courses and retreats, there's like stuff about copyright laws, there's lists of publishers and like writing advice, and just so much stuff in here, which is really exciting. So it's going to be great to actually finally own this for a change. Now, my mum also gave me What Jane Austen Ate and Charles Dickens Knew. Now, this is a non-fiction book, which is basically like facts and information about daily life in the 19th century. I first heard about this book on Caroline's channel, Caroline from BBC Girl. I will link her channel down below, and it just sounded really interesting and right up my street. Apparently it was very hard to get hold of and is out of print, which I did not know when I asked for it for Christmas, but there we go. I'm very excited to possess it. I think it should be a really interesting read, and it'll be nice hopefully to read some more non-fiction in 2017, as I said in 2016 and as did not happen in 2016, but anyway. And my parents also gave me Tea with Jane Austen, recipes inspired by her novels and letters. I'm very much looking forward to reading this. It's basically a collection of recipes inspired by Jane Austen in some way, and look, I can make a hedgehog out of cake. I mean, that sounds pretty cool, don't you think? Finally, I also received this from my uncle, which is 642 Tiny Things to Write About. Basically, this is a tiny little workbook where it gives you space to write about little things, and they tend to be like really, really small things, and you fill it out within the book so that you can write various different things. It's kind of just like a writing prompts book, but I think it should be really interesting, and hopefully I'm going to fill it out as the year goes on. I might try and do like one a day or one every couple of days, because I think it will be a really interesting exercise and something a bit different from most of what I write. So I only have one more thing to show you, and it's a very exciting one. It's not a book, but it is literary. This is my new Penguin Classics Wuthering Heights umbrella. I'm very, very excited by the fact that I have this in my life. It's very, very bright and very cool. I'm going to open it for you, which is supposedly bad luck, but I think we will survive, assuming I don't like knock the camera off the thing. I mean, look, can you see? I don't know if you can see. Look at it, it's a Wuthering Heights umbrella. Wuthering Heights. It's so exciting. So that is pretty much it for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed seeing all the books that I received for Christmas. If any of you have read any of these books and would like to suggest to me where to start, because I do not know and I have a lot, then please let me know in the comments below, and I'll be back very soon with another video. In the meantime, as always, happy reading.